Hello children, welcome back to the online class. Last week we have studied periodic properties, periodic table, and in that periodic properties how the properties varies across the period and down the group. Quick recall of the last week. So what we have seen first, what is periodic properties? Before that we have seen periodic table, number of groups and periods. Next we have seen what is periodic properties, any property that gradually or varies in the regular interval of time, we call it as a periodic properties. In that we have seen atomic radius, metallic character and non-metallic character. All these three will depends upon the nuclear size and the atomic size. Atomic radius is nothing but distance between the nucleus and the center of the nucleus and the outermost shell. So while coming to the number of shells, what happens? The number of shells will be increasing down the group and it will be same across the period. Nuclear charge is nothing but the positive charge, that is force of attraction between the electrons and the center nucleus, that is protons, that is nuclear charge. Atomic radius, what we have seen, the distance between. So in that, how the atomic size will be varying down the group and across the shell. Down the group atomic size increases and across the shell atomic size decreases. Next one, metallic character. Metallic character is nothing but the tendency to lose the electrons. Non-metallic character is tendency to gain the electrons. In this metallic character, how the electrons, how the uh, properties varies across the group. In the metallic character, the property will be decreased across the period and increased down the group. Non-metallic character, just opposite, increase across the period, decrease down the group. So next here comes three properties. Next three properties: ionization potential, electron affinity and electron negativity. Before going into that, we have to see what is chemical reactivity. So if any of the reactions takes place, if for an example sodium and chlorine is reacting between each other, what happens? It will lose electrons or gain electrons, that is we call it as a reaction. The reaction, so the reactivity depends upon losing or gaining electrons. The reactivity of elements depend upon the tendency to lose or gain the electrons, that is we call it as a chemical reactivity. So greater the tendency of lose the electrons, so if any atom has tendency to lose the electrons, then what it is? It is metallic. So more reactivity will be there in the metals. If greater the tendency to gain electrons, then the reactivity will be more in the non-metals. Next one, trends, how it varies down the group and across a period. Down the group the reactivity increases and across a period reactivity first decreases then increases. Why it has increases down the group? Because towards the down the group the atomic size, that radius will be increasing, so it easily loses the electrons. So more reactivity is required. Reaction rate will be more at the bottom. So down the group the reactivity will be more, and across a period what happens? We cannot remove the electrons, more number of electrons. We know due to the valency 1 2 3 metals, and after that what happens? 3 2 1, like this the valency will be varying across a period. So 3 2 1 it may lose the electrons easily, so first decreases, and 1 2 3, so losing the electrons will be there, and after that what happens? 3 2 1, after that they will be increasing. So next one, gradation in physical properties. There are two gradation, one is melting point and boiling point, and next one is density of the elements. Metals, what happen? It will decrease on going down the group. Melting point and boiling point both will decrease on when we go down the group. In non-metal it will increase when we go down the group. Across a period it will be increasing up to group 14 and then decreasing. Next one, density of the elements. Density of the elements, while going down the group, what happens? The density, the size, atomic size will be more, so density of the elements will be increasing gradually. While coming across a period, the density will be high and then slightly decrease, because we know the last 18th group will be smaller than the alkali metals, so it decreases at the end of the period. So next one, ionization potential. So when any reaction takes place, if you want to remove the electrons, if you remove the electrons from the atom, how it becomes? It becomes a ion. So for that, do we need energy or not? We need some energy because the electrons are bounded, it is attracted by the positive charge, so we have to remove that electron, breaking the nuclear charge, breaking that attraction of force. We have to remove the electron, so for that we need obviously energy. That energy we call it as a ionization energy or ionization potential or ionization enthalpy. So the energy required to remove an electron from a neutral isolated gaseous atom and converting it into positively charged gaseous atom. So this is the definition. How it is measured? Last week we have seen in the physics class in the energy, other units of energy, electron volt. In the case of atoms, electron volt will be used, we have seen. So same, measured in electron volts per atom. Unit is kilojoule or kilojoule per mole or kj mole minus 1. Next one is ionization potential depends upon, so same, atomic size and the nuclear charge. Ionization potential, while comparing to the while coming to the atomic size, greater the atomic size, lesser the force of attraction. Greater the atomic size, lesser the force of attraction means last week itself we have seen atomic radius. In the atomic radius, so shells are increasing, the more number of radius will be there, so the electrons will be loosely bounded and that the easily it loses the electrons. So what happens, the force of attraction will be very less. Same, so ionization required energy is very less because it is loosely bounded, so no more energy is required. While coming to the nuclear charge, what happens? Greater the nuclear charge, greater is the attraction for the electrons of the outermost shell. While going across the period, what happens? The nuclear charge will be more. It will be tightly bounded. Attraction, force of attraction will be more. So to remove it, what we need? More energy we need it. So ionization energy will be more across the period. Next one is trends, how it is down in a group and across a period. As we said in atomic size and the nuclear charge, the same here. Down the group, ionization energy will be decreases because the electrons are loosely bounded. Across the period, nuclear charge will be more, so ionization energy required is more. So next one, metals usually have low ionization energy because it easily loses its electrons, so no need of more energy. But non-metals have high ionization energy. Helium is the highest and cesium is the lowest ionization energy. Francium we have not found it yet because it is a radioactive element. Next comes the electron affinity. It is also called as electron gain enthalpy. So students, please listen. In this definition, the energy required to remove an electron is there. No, here, I'm sorry. The energy released while converting a this definition, I'm repeating again, please note it down. The amount of energy released while converting a neutral gaseous isolated atom into negatively charged gaseous ion by the addition of the electron is called electron affinity. So electron affinity definition I will send you. It is nothing but the amount of energy released while converting the atom. Ionization potential is attracting, so it is the energy required to remove the electron. Here any reaction takes place if the atom is converting into a negatively charged atom, the addition of the electrons, the removal of the energy required, that we call it as a electron affinity. Electron affinity is nothing but opposite to the ionization energy. So if an atom loses its electron, it becomes ion, so energy is required to remove the electrons. So this is when an atom gains the electrons, the amount of energy released, that one we call it as a electron affinity. So here atom gives electron and it becomes a negative ion, that is plus electron affinity, that is energy released during the conversion of the atom into positive ion. So next one, its unit is electron volts per atom and represented by the negative symbol. Here plus 349 kJ mole per mole minus 1 is there. This 349 is mentioned as minus 349. That is the amount of energy released during this process. So next one, electron affinity. Electron affinity is how the electron affinity varies due to atomic size and the nuclear charge. Smaller the atomic size, greater the electron affinity. Smaller the atomic size, greater the electron affinity, means what happens if the size is less, then more number of energy is released. Greater the nuclear charge, greater the electron affinity. So how it is that in the atomic size, the effective attractive force between the nucleus and valence electron is greater in smaller atoms, so electrons held firmly, so more amount of energy is released. Here what happens in the nuclear charge, increase in the nuclear charge increases the effective force of valence, force on the valence electron, so more number of force is there, more number of energy also released. Next one, trends followed in the electron affinity. In the period what happens, the atomic size decreases, nuclear charge increases. If the nuclear charge increases, the electron affinity also increases. Down the group what happen, atomic size increases than the nuclear charge, so it is decreases. Here atomic size increases. Atomic size increases means what happens, they are loosely bounded, so the electron affinity will be very less, the amount of energy released will be very less. Next one is electron affinity will be highest for group 17 and least for the group 1. Why it is said as highest for group 17 and it is least for group 1? Because the nuclear charge will be very less in the group 1 and it will be more in the group 17. Next one, in group 17 fluorine has the lower electron affinity and chlorine than chlorine, and in group 16 oxygen has lower electron affinity than sulfur. Why? Because the size of the fluorine and oxygen is very small. There are strong inter-electronic repulsions, thus incoming electron does not feel much attraction. Size of the fluorine and oxygen is very small, so what happens, their electronic repulsion will be very strong. If the small atomic size is there, then the electron repulsion will be more, so incoming electron does not feel much attraction. The attracted electron, the gaining electron will not feel more attraction, so for that the electron affinity will be greater. And then just think and tell me whether the inert gases will show electron affinity or ionization energy, whether there any changes will be there, because noble gases have a stable electronic configuration, so whether it has ionization potential or else electron affinity. Think and tell. This baby is thinking, so you also think and tell answer to this baby. Next one, electronegativity. Definition for this electronegativity is the tendency of an atom in a molecule to attract the shared pair of electron towards itself is called as electronegativity. So, if any atom, if any element shared its electrons with the other element, then what happens? Sharing takes place. In that sharing, which electron will attracts the other pair of electrons, that tendency, any electron cannot attract the other electron, any electron cannot attract the incoming positive charges. So which atom, which molecule has a tendency, that is electronegativity. The tendency of an atom in a molecule to attract the shared pair of electrons towards itself is called as a electronegativity. So it does not have a dimensions, it is only a tendency, so it is not a dimensionless, it is dimensionless. Next one, it indicates the net result of the tendencies of different elements to attract the bond forming electron pair. So it just indicates how the tendencies, how the elements can attract the other pair, shared pair of electrons. That tendency alone it indicates. Next one, we are using Linus Pauling scale. It has the highest value of 4.0 for fluorine and 0.7 for cesium. This is electronegativity. Electronegativity is nothing but the tendency of an atom to attract the shared pair of electrons. Next one, how it varies. Greater the atomic size, lesser the electronegativity. Greater the nuclear charge, greater the electronegativity. since the electrons the same down the group, what happens, the atomic size increases. If it atomic size increases, the tendency it experiences less of force or of attraction, so tendency of losing the electrons will be very less. Here what comes, it is a tendency to attract the shared pair of electrons, so only one electron will be only one shell will be there, so one electron will be there. If one electron is there, what happens, uh, the tendency of sharing the electrons will be very less. In nuclear charge, what happens, electron attraction will be with a greater force. Next one, across a period, what happens, across a period electronegativity increases since the nuclear charge increases due to increase in the atomic number. Down the group, the electronegativity decreases. Due to the addition of extra shell, the atomic size decreases. In everything we are seeing, due to addition of the extra shells, atomic size decreases, so it may lose the electrons. Like this only we are seeing. So remember this, while going down the group, the atomic size increases. While going across the period, the nuclear charge increases. So effect of increase in atomic size overcomes the effect of nuclear charge. So next one, noble gases do not have tendency to attract electrons because they have a stable electronic configuration. Metals show lower electronegativity compared to non-metals. Metals show lower electronegativity as compared to non-metals. So we are telling metals are electropositive and non-metals are electronegative, because metals when loses its electron becomes positive ion, so electropositive. Non-metals when gains its electron it becomes negative, so it is electronegative. Next one, elements of second period differs in properties from their respective groups. Smaller size of the atom and their electronegativity. Here comes the bridge elements. Last year itself we have studied the bridge elements. So what we have studied, the elements of the second period show the resemblance in properties with the next group of the third period presented right diagonal of the element. You can refer your 9th standard book also. We have seen in the second period and third period. Second period element will show the resemblance of the next group elements of the third period. When you look into the periodic table, you could see lithium and magnesium will be possessing the same property, beryllium and aluminum will show the same property, and boron and silicon will be showing the same properties. This one we call it as a bridge element. So next one, greater the value of electron affinity, easier to gain the electrons. So more tendency will be there to gain the electrons. If it has more tendency to gain the electrons, it will become non-metallic or more electronegative. Non-metallic we can call it as a electronegative. Also we call it as a oxidizing agent. So more oxidizing is the element. Next one, oxidizing power increases from left to right in a period and decreases top to bottom in a group, because oxidizing agents are non-metals. So what happens, reducing power only increases in the metals. Down the group, reducing power will be increasing because they are metals. Across the group, what happens, there are more non-metals will be there, so the oxidizing power will be increases from left to right, decreases down the group. Next one, metal loses electrons, so they have less ionization energy, less electron affinity, less electronegativity, and large atomic radii than the non-metals. Next one, metals are good reducing agents. Last week we have seen. So this is variation in periodic properties, how the periodic properties varies. On the whole, it is summarized here: number of valence electron, atomic size. So totally all the characters are given, how it varies across the group and down the group. So remember this, mark up this. So next one, self-evaluation. You go through the questions. I'll also send more number of self-evaluation questions. Find all the answers and make it as a booklet. Thank you, children. If you have any doubt, please contact through WhatsApp and I will send you the definition for electron affinity separately. Thank you, children.